Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Terrence Ray, and I'm back at you with another weekly stock market update. And last week we had a lot of fireworks last week, as what could be expected with the presidential election taking place. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So last week we had an expected move of $142. We exceeded that. So this was Friday, this was Thursday, this was Wednesday. This was your gap up after the election. So this would have been Tuesday, Monday. So we looking at it from the open. Let's see. I want to. So if we looking at from the open on Monday the 4th, that would have been 57.25. We'll just make it even. So 57.25, and we closed at what 59.95, so 57.25 the same, but 170 $170 move in the I believe so, in the expected move. So that's pretty doggone. Hold on. No, I'm sorry. um I think I did it wrong. So 57.12, let's just make it 5700. Make it easy math, and then that's almost a $300 expected move. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. So that's almost a $300 expected move. Excuse me, $300. So that's almost a 2x of the expected move. So if you had the open of it opened at 57.25 and then went all the way to 59.95, that's 270, about about 270. So we'll just call it, that's almost 2x. Because if it was 142 and then we went two times that, that would be like what, 284. So we went almost 2x. So we had a two standard deviation move last week because of the elections, obviously. Now, what can we expect this week? With all that being said, we can come right here. I already have it plotted out on the screen. We'll go to the option market. And if we're looking at the option market, we'll see that the expected move for this week is $66.80. So a little under half of what we had last week, which can be expected with um with the move so large. Now I'm gonna throw my indicators on, right? And I'm only throwing those on. So now we can see that, hey, um, look, it's how far price action is from the 9 day. Now I don't get too much into the moving averages per se, but one of the things is I have a 9 day, a 20, and then a 50. Now your shorter term, your 9 day, you generally, in order to get a change in direction, you generally want to see price action. You want to see the moving average catch up to price action. So we would need for the market to slow down a little bit just so this could catch up, right? So if I was counting like candlesticks from the bottom, I probably would count this as one. Some people would count this as one, the beginning of the move, but I would say one, two, three, four. So I'm guessing maybe 4 or 5 candlesticks in here to allow the moving average to catch up. See how I did that? Um, and then we'll, like, almost like, if you look right here, you see how this candlestick right here, I would count this as maybe one big large candlestick as the beginning of this move right here. So it'll be one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 10, then you got 11. And right up around in here, the moving average caught up. So you want to see, I would expect some chop this week. Market to the market to give it some time for investors to process what happened last week, and then to reassess and make more decisions this week, right? So I expect a little chop this week. Let's look at some levels that I have on the screen. I know I have some levels in the Qs. So we right up here. I generally only trade to this level when I'm trading, and we already hit that level. So we right around in here. So this is my reversal zone. So I'm looking for chop this week in the NASDAQ. That don't mean we're gonna get it, but that's what I'm expecting, right? Thus we have a smaller expected move in the S&P 500. Let's go look at. I know for a fact I have levels in Tesla. Tesla blew through all of these levels. I mean, like it shot through here, shot through here. At this point, as far as the RSI go, relative strength index, it is at 76. So that is overbought according to the relative strength, according to the RSI. And my stochastic that I use is overbought as well. So we are in, that reversal zone for me. Now that doesn't mean that I'm bearish. When I say like reversal, I'm not talking about like maybe going down. I mean maybe just a little chop. And, intraday wise, you could get something back in here, maybe back in here to slow down before we get another move higher. So I have that. I'm expecting that this week. Let's look in the video. I have another level up here right around the video. So you see the video actually had a red day. So the body of this candlestick actually closed inside of this one. So we could see a little chop in the video, before it goes higher. I think it can go higher. I think the market just going, to be honest, um, Trump has made references to lower interest rates. I fully expect him to, just my opinion now, bully the the uh FOM, the Federal Reserve, and Jerome Powell. I have no issues with that. I'm just using that term, um, because that's what I think. Hey, being president is the bully pulpit. It's the ultimate bully pulpit. That's what the people want. Um, Whether it's what we need, hey, I'll take it for a few years anyway. So anyway, I do think he's gonna do it, and I do think that they're gonna continue to cut rates. Whether that's a good thing or not in the long term, I don't know. But in short term, stocks will go higher, right? Um, so let's look at. I have another chart that I want to look at, and then we're gonna do something a little different. Let's look at XBI. XBI is the biotech ETF. Now, I'm going to take off these indicators and we're just going to have a chart up here and we're just going to look at this big chart pattern. Matter of fact, I'm going to zoom out. Let's go out 2 years. So there we go. Now you see this triangle up here. This is what is called in technical analysis an ascending triangle, or it could just be a regular triangle. Some people would say it's not ascending because ascending would be angled, like angled up. But we can see that these lows down here are higher lows, and you can see they're going up. The sort of bottom of the triangle is going up like this, and then the top is relatively flat. So this biotech ETF, you can see, is breaking out of this range. Now, this range, this pattern, it took this pattern at the beginning. At the top, we have what's this, February 28th, 24. So this year, February, it started all the way to now. So this pattern been here for 8 months like this, and now it's beginning to break out. I expect to see a nice move out of this pattern. Um, Now, when you have something like that, we can either trade the XBI itself, or we can look at some of the underlyings in the XBI and trade those. Now, one of the top holdings in it, AbbVie, will pull up. Now, when I look at AbbVie, I see a stock that is going up and to the right. So this is a stock that, you know, even though it started to we got 3 red days right here, it's up and to the right. So this is something that if you don't want to trade the ETF, this is something maybe long term that can be traded. Um, Let me look at the weekly. And the only reason why I'm doing that is I'm looking at a 3 year, let's go 5 years. It's just up and to the right. I mean, since this low right here, right around in 2020, look at it, just drifting. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't get a down move. So if you don't feel comfortable Like, and I'm just talking this out. This isn't trade advice. This is just how I think about things, right? I'm walking you through how me doing some analysis on a stock. I found the ETF that looked like it's breaking out. Now I go and Google and look at the stocks inside of that ETF to see if there's something that I can trade or invest in long term. Let's look at what's another one that I know I had them pulled up. One of the things you can do on TastyTrade, come over here to recent symbols. So I had V, I already looked at that. It's not showing it. I already clicked it off. So SRPT is one of them. Serep, I don't know how to say that. I'm not even gonna try. Sarepta Therapeutics. All right. So we're looking at a weekly here. Now let's look at this one. Now this one, this is a week. Let's go down, drop down to back to the daily, go year out. This is the year. So this one hasn't been moving as much as the actual ETF. So this would be something that they would term as underperforming. It's underperforming the rest of the stocks in its sector. Now, you can look at it one or two ways and say, hey, if I believe that ETF is breaking out and going up, will this particular stock catch up with those stocks? So you may have more upside potential with this stock right here. And this is one of those candlesticks. See this candlestick right here with this long wick, right? You got a wick here, you got wicks here. So you got a support level right here. So it may not be a bad trade. So me personally, I'll watch that this week to see what forms intraday to see if I can get a move up, up to around here, 132, something like that. Let me see. There's another one that I wanted to look at also that I had made notes of. Let's see if I can pull it up. I also Gilead, or is it Gilead Services? Let's look it up. This one has been killing it, right? So when you see something like this, it's almost parabolic. Let's put the indicators on. Like it's going ham, right? With a stock like this, um, it is overbought on the RSI and the stochastic. So with something like this, you may want to see if we get a pullback, and then maybe you look for another setup to get long. Now, long term, you may say, "Oh, I'm in this for the long term," and you got to be able to sit through a down move though, because I imagine at some point this is a weekly. This is a 5-year weekly. This is crazy. So you can see this particular sector is breaking out, and other stocks and some stocks are underperforming. You can look through the rest of the stocks yourself. Just Google XBI Holdings, and then you could find you some more stocks in there to play. Same thing with XRT. Let's look at XRT. Look at this range right here. This is the retail ETF. And you see this right here. This is a channel. This is a weekly right here. If you can I can put this on the daily, and it's gonna look the same way. Look at that. Let's take all the indicators off and just look at it. Let's go out 2 years and look. So this is crazy. Look at this range right here, just bouncing back and forth. I'm willing to bet. I always say if I was a betting man, and I am a betting man, I'm betting on it to come break out of here. You can trade this one or two ways. You can get long XRT, or you can look up the underlines in XRT, which is going to be your retail. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Macy's is one of those that's in there. Let me look and see. So you got stuff like GameStop, Carvana. Um, let's see. You have Dillard's, Victoria's Secret, Kohl's, Macy's is in their Gap. So you can look those stocks up and find something moving along with it. I will pull up Macy's because I think I had looked at Macy's a while back. But this chart right here, like I said, is now you got a gap up and a pullback here. So I will be looking to see what happens if the stock can get back up here and take this level out here. And if it can get back up here and take this level out, then look what you got. You got a gap fill here and maybe a gap fill there. So any stocks, look through those stocks and see if you can find something that's worth trading on the long side, right? And like I said, this week, guys, I would be looking for maybe a little chop. I expect the market to slow down just a little bit and hold somewhere up around here. You got IWM gapped up real, just crazy. Look at this. Now, this is a bullish candlestick, by the way, just to be honest with you. That candlestick right there is a bullish candlestick. So I wouldn't be surprised, if IWM continued to go higher, right? So, and if I put my indicators back on, I just do that. I just want to see as far as the RSI is at 72. Now, just because the RSI is at 72 doesn't mean that it can't go higher. I would just expect a little bit of chop around in here for a few days to allow this moving average to catch up a little bit, and then we may get another move higher. So this week, just kind of play it, be cautious, protect the profits. I know a lot of people made a lot of money this past week. Protect those profits. Start, in my opinion, I'd be taking a little bit off the table, or maybe even selling calls against existing positions that you have, you know, selling out of the money calls, right? So, I'd be out here selling some junk. If I own IWM, I'd be out here selling junk out here, maybe selling stuff outside of the expected move, seeing if you get that pop down to the downside. All right, guys. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the video. Let me know what you'll be watching this week, what you trade. And with that being said, guys, I'm gonna be out. Peace.